So welcome to episode 13 of the 3% podcast with Caolan Loughran, who's recently, he's had 2 fights now in the UFC. Are we 9-1 or are we 10-1? 10-1?
It's a matter of debate. I'm technically 9.
Okay.
But I've had 10 pro wins.
Yeah, and what's the reason then why the other one's not on your record?
Do you know what it is? I never went looking for it because it was before I was ever even in Cage Wars. I don't know if it was the same before you'd get into UFC and stuff, but getting matched regionally was a nightmare for me. Like literally, I was actually meant to fight in it was the August. I was originally booked to fight, and I got heavily injured. But because it had been such a period of inactivity, I just thought, "Fuck, I need to fight." So I tried to fight. Fight got cancelled. Rebooked a week later, 3 weeks later. Every couple of weeks I was rebooked. December 18th, then it was actually Alex Foreman show up in Fusion maybe, in there. I was like, right, I have to fucking fight. I've meant to have been fighting. I've been cutting weight. I've been dieting in camp for months now. Got to the arena. This is God's honest truth. No one told me. It was a ring. Did not know until I got there. I was like, fuck.
Never fought in a ring before?
Never fought in a ring. No, I obviously thought it was an Octagon. I was like, right, we're doing that then. It's a fucking ring. Start warming up. Hands are wrapped, ready to go. And Colin goes, just pull back a second. I was like, what? He goes, have you seen the guy yet? The opponent I'm fighting? I was like, no. He's like, I don't think he's here. I was like, what? And we keep like, I kind of don't really ignore, just can't have ignore it, train away, warm up, do my thing. About but 30 minutes later, Alex Foreman comes back and says the guy I'm fighting hasn't showed up. I'm like, holy fuck. And this has been after like a period of mad activity and stuff. I'm being half fucking crying backstage. I'm like, this game is fucked. Hand wraps are cut off, ready to go leave the arena. Alex Foreman comes baiting through the door. We've got somebody. This is God's honest truth. I'm like, what? He said, we've got somebody. And then it was me, Colin Heron, my brother at the time, and Terry Adam. And he goes, we've got somebody. And then I goes, who is he? And then half talked me through. He's half a journeyman. And I goes, Terry, do it. And Terry goes, let's go. And I goes, fuck it, let's go. So I ended up fighting the kid. He fell over instantly, like he wasn't really there to win. He was there one of them boys, the fucking weekend collect the fucking payday. Got the win after a bit of round. My ankle was very heavily injured the whole time. Busted in the fight. I limp out of the ring, walk back up with my brother to Dirty O'Shea's to grab a pint after a fight and sit down with him and be like, what the fuck just happened? The fight wasn't on my record and I actually never went looking at it, but a good experience, lad. I'm actually happy it happened. It was a good buzz.
You know what they say, win's a win.
Win's a win. Funny, believe it or not, that actually backstage, as that happened, like between the fight getting cancelled, Colin contacted Ian Dean for Cage Wars. So signed that day, like got the contract that day.
So how many fights into your pro career was that?
Fuck. Well, I had 5. I had 4 in Cage Wars and 2 in the UFC. 9/10 now. So was it 5-0 or something like that? Whatever it was.
Do you know what happened to your opponent who was supposed to be there on the night?
No, to be honest, I think he was one of them fucking half bums as well. So that's God's honest truth. He never
been on YouTube or something on the way up.
I don't know. see that like, see if you're like a prospect regionally get matched, because like to beat someone like my brother had it there. He's now just had his pro debut. He's had to travel abroad because if you come in with a bit of hype, a bit of an amateur background, like to beat someone at 0 or 0-0, 1-0 doesn't mean much, but to lose to them is terrible. So getting matches, like it's not easy. You just basically have to take what you're given on whatever notice you're given until you're signed.
My career had pretty much finished before, well finished before yours had even started. So I was fighting under Colin, teammate with Terry. Going all over the world for calling them lads in the UFC. Yeah. But I only had 4 or 5 professional fights myself, so I can relate to what you mean in terms of like, it's hard to get matchups, so you end up fighting people who basically you're supposed to win 100%. Before you'd ever go in there. So I always felt the pressure, like something to speak about a lot is. For me, I was always, I was never the underdog.
Yeah.
I always carried the pressure of like...
Would you rather have been the underdog?
I'd rather have been the underdog, yeah. But every fight like most of the fights I went into, even like leading up to the UFC, it was like first round wins, so I didn't get the experience what I'd probably needed to obviously go on and reach my potential. But I always felt the weight of everyone else's, like, again, speak about like everyone else's opinions, and I was worried because I thought it weren't even a fact of I've got to win, like I've got to fight perfect. As opposed to feel like this person shouldn't really to lay a finger on me. So it was never like so much the pressure of winning. It was always having a perfect fight.
So I'd be all right that way, because I kind of have fighting's fucking hard, isn't it?
Yeah,
of course. I actually listen to a guy I really look up to. I don't know if you know him, Dustin Poirier. Or I don't know if you know, but I don't know if you've listened to him. It's like how he talks about fighting and just basically how he's built his life with the ease, and how he says basically every single time before he goes out, he has in his head that this is going to be awful. This is going to be fucking balls to the wall. I'm going to get battered, but I'm going to keep going. So I kind of have that in my head before I go out now. It's like, it's just going to be, he's going to hit me. He's going to give, I just kind of have a worst case. But then I'm almost at peace with it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So you're going in expecting the worst, but you're going to come out with a victory.
Yeah.
So prepared for the toughest, the hardest.
Yeah. If I'm backstage, I'm thinking like I'm going to get tired. Like I'm going to just, no matter what, I'm just going to, if it all comes down to it, like I'll just push pace on them and I'll come through it on hard. I always have that in my head backstage, like prepared for the half worst, but like I'm all right with it. Almost walking out. I don't know why. That's the way I look at it now. From a guy like Dustin, which again he's someone I look, because I lost my UFC debut, and this guy's a guy who just kept going. That even the likes of Charles the Bronx, I used to really not like. I just kind of latched on to their stories of like just keeping going, sticking at the journey, essentially, because that's what fighting is. Fighting's fucking hard. It's a hard way. Like there's a lot of like the likes of fucking McGregor probably painted this fake life essentially of what being a professional fighter is. This like fairy tale story of you're just gonna blow through your division in the first round, make a fucking shit ton of money. It's gonna be, it's for a lot of people it's not like that. It's actually a very hard game. So
you earn every penny, don't you? Even at the highest level
to
get
fuck
there.
me.
You know, even with the media obligations and things which come at the highest level outside of fighting, it's like it's a lot of hours, isn't it? And a lot of work. Oh,
it's not even 9 to 5. It's a life. Like it's literally a life, and that's why any fighter who makes a big payday, I'm like fucking fair play to you, fair fucking no matter if I like you or don't. If you get a big payday and you're maximizing yourself out of this career, I'm like fair fucking play, because there's easier ways to make a living than Team Kaobon 11 o'clock on a Tuesday morning. I'll tell you that much. There, but I love it. I absolutely love it. You know what I mean? I'm obsessed with it. So.
Well, you've just answered part of one of the questions I was probably going to ask you a bit further on. Who you took the most, or who did you take inspiration from? I know, obviously, you mentioned Dustin Poirier, Charles the Bronx. Who inspired you to get into fighting?
Originally, I would have the McGregor would have. No, he doesn't. He wouldn't be. I don't think he likes me anymore. But originally,
what's that?
It's just silly, like it's petty stuff. I actually never really told anyone this probably, but after I fought in Paris, he put up things that he tweeted saying he's like proud of me and the journey continues and stuff like this here, because again he's had losses. He understands this sport. Like even before the UFC, he was losing, but he kept going. He tweeted he's proud of me or something like this here, and then I wouldn't really be I don't really get to drink or anything. Not that I want to, but like after fights, I'll take a pint of Guinness. I love Guinness. And I just tweeted, because just me and my own, I just tweeted for the Guinness, goes, the best sports psychologist I ever met, me in the pint. Because you're just sitting there thinking. But just the joke, and someone tweeted, you need at Forged Irish Stout. And he was like, and I jokingly said, oh, there's only one stout, lads, just as a joke. And he chimed in saying, I can't even remember what he said. Then he deleted his tweet saying he was proud of me, unfollowed me on Instagram, unfollowed me on Twitter. And I was like, fuck. That seems a bit much. I genuinely was joking. So no, I'd like to make up with him. I'd love to share a cure with him. He absolutely is somebody who inspired me. But like, I'm not gonna like lose sleep over it. Like it is what it is.
Yeah.
But of course, he was someone that inspired me in the way up. I was coming from Ireland, 2 hours away from him. So like, when he had obviously reached the pinnacle of the sport, he changed the game forever.
I think pretty much every fighter in the UFC,
of course,
to some degree, owes him
a
thank you, because he's raised the stakes, he's raised the pay.
1,000,000%.
You know, he's done a lot for the sport.
He's like, even whenever I was coming up, it was like an amateur back home, and I'd be like, oh, McGregor's fighting, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh, do you know there's a lad from down the road who does it? And then I was winning all these belts and these titles. Like, I think he's like half doing okay. So then I got support. I got fucking BBC sit downs as an amateur, and fucking they were covering my fight stuff, which was purely because of the eyes he brought to it. So he was definitely someone closer to the gym, Till was someone I looked up to big time. He was actually probably one of the main reasons why I got into coming over to Kaobon, to be honest. That was his rise. And it's actually a funny story. I actually never told Colin this, only told Denise and Danny over in Dubai. There was Till's obviously getting his rise, and I don't know if you remember, there was like a UFC Connected about you're actually in it. It's like the whole gym, all the Terry and everyone was at it. And it was talking about it was like I had a Colin on it, and he was saying like the team is the team, and if you're here, you're part of my team, and we're I just loved the way he was talking, and I loved the way Till was talking about how Colin's a man. He's the one that orchestrates this. Like, there's no egos in here. This is like this is how this gym goes, and just the way clips are coming out of training stuff. I remember, this is honestly over my life is the truth. I remember saying to my brother, I'd love to go train there. Like, I just want to go fucking try that place out. Like, look at that place. It's only over it's a 25-minute flight away. Fucking let's go have a go at it. This is honestly over my life. That was on the Tuesday. Remember it so well. The Friday night, Ali McLean messaged me, "Oh, would you be interested in coming train?" And I goes around tearing. I was like, "Fuck me, look at this here."
Yeah.
He's messaged me this here, and then I actually had a fight booked for like, I think it was the end of the January, start of the February. Like, I have this fight, lad. As soon as I get this fight sorted, I'll be on the mat. So I had the fight Saturday night, won first round. It's good prospect. Tuesday morning, I was on.
Amateur, that wasn't it?
I was amateur then. I came in thinking, geez, I am the dog's balls, what I was thinking. And then Mike Grundy shot a single leg on me, and I found out very quickly I wasn't the dog's balls.
You were 8-2 as an amateur, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I actually have a couple that weren't on, that didn't go on the thing, but
were they wins?
Their wins, It was not a good amateur record. I talked big as an amateur, then I get pushed into the upper echelon fighters pretty quickly regionally. So no, it was good. I think that's like vital. You need them amateur. You talked about experience of like, I think you need pushed as much as you can before you get to the big scene. You know what I mean?
Of course, yeah. Well, when I was fighting, they weren't really. My first fight was professional.
Was it?
There was no like governing bodies. There was no amateurs and things like that. It was like those semi-pro.
Was it? But that goes in record.
Semi-pro MMA.
What is that?
You know, like semi-pro. There's like, it was dead unorganized.
Does that go in your record then straight away?
Oh, yeah. I don't think the semi-pro. I don't know what they class the semi-pro, because if you go on Sherdog and the likes of that, there's no bracket for a semi-pro. MMA fight. I haven't been on it for that long. Is the amateur on there now? If you go on with it, show people's amateur records.
Oh, guy, and Topology and that, you'll get their amateur records.
But when I was fighting, it was like,
mad.
There was people who weren't MMA fighters, and they walk into a cage, and then all of a sudden they're fucking out on the A-level weekend. I'm a professional mixed martial artist.
That's it.
Do you know what I mean? Fucking Barry's had 2 straighteners in his life. He jumped in an Octagon for a couple of £100, and now he's a pro athlete.
Yeah, literally.
The good old days. But going back to Colin then, obviously I've got a very strong bond with Colin, someone who, I wouldn't say he's a father figure as such, but he's definitely someone who I've got massive, massive respect and appreciation for, and he knows it. I do my best to tell him and let him know. He's had a massive influence on my life and who I am as a person. But what's he done for you?
Fuck me.
And you don't have to big him up because I am. I mean, just speak the truth.
No, to be honest, it's literally the reason why I'm living my dream every single day. I think that's like when you get like an obsessed coach and obsessed fighter, you have like
perfect recipe.
You have it, like, don't you? Just knows the game. Been about fighting for 45 years, and even outside of fighting, like just a very, very, very intelligent man. Would ask any advice on really anything. Like, even if, I don't know, it's stupid, but like a couple of weeks ago, he told me to buy this fucking bed sheet. This
is it earthen bed sheet?
Earthen bed sheet. Just didn't even research. Just went and bought it. Like, I just trust him. Trust is actually
he's on it, isn't he?
It's actually a great job. To be honest, having my last drink, But I've been about the scene, and quite literally the reason I'm living my dream every day. Would like to think I've done. Actually, when I got signed to UFC, he said you've done everything I've asked. So I just really push myself as much as I can in the gym to his direction, essentially. And no, I couldn't thank him more than that, and say he's the main reason why I'm living my dream every day. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, obviously it's a testament to the work what you put in yourself.
Oh, of course. I said fighter.
The first day, you know, you remember sitting in my car, just seeing
you're the first person I met. You're the first person I met.
Rock up at Kaobon with a suitcase, like, you know, like, mate, what's happening? You're like, I'm coming here to train, and
I remember you goes, you must be nuts. I goes, maybe a wee bit. And then do you know the truth of that? I had met, you're the first person I met came to Liverpool as a suitcase, and then I came in and then rung Ali McLean. I never met Ali. I was like, oh, meet Ali. He's like, he just completely ignored me. I was like, oh, Jesus, that's just the way he is.
Ali on camera and Ali off camera is two different people, isn't it?
I changed from that time, and I definitely.
But even the likes of Ali, I think that, again, you know, that's only down to the likes of Colin and...
Oh, yeah, he would,
like, you know, the team, you know, Colin speaks a lot about the team. One of the big things what, like, I probably appreciate the most about him is when I was on the mats, you know, some days there was 20 lads on there.
Yeah.
A lot of them UFC signed up with, you know, with big organisations.
Yeah.
But the people who tend to get the most out of Colin was basically the people who give the most.
No question.
And there was no favouritism because of what shows you were fighting on or how big of a name you were.
Yeah.
He'd always put the most time to the people who were basically willing to work the hardest and showed the most commitment.
No question.
And I think he lost a lot of fighters. He has over the years for that reason, because he does expect the highest. Basically expects you to do everything what he asks you to do.
Literally. That's that's when, like, whenever I moved to the back, I think that was like kind of shows that you're on it. Like I'm here to make this my life. So I think he kind of has a soft spot for people who do that. Like, I literally slept in the back for 10 months, and
I'd love to. Have you got any pictures of
the back?
The dorms?
Oh, fuck, I'd love to show you that.
Ali has.
I'll
get some pictures of Ali, because I'll put them on here, because that alone to basically live in them conditions.
Yeah, just
shows how committed and how much you want it.
So is it like
it fucking stunk in there, I know that. it absolutely stunk. I mean,
no windows.
It's a smell I can't even describe it.
Yeah.
The only,
isn't the video we used to do it all?
Yeah, we can find that. Yeah, but it had been cleaned. When did the cleaner had been in that day? So it's fucking spotless. If you'd have gone in a couple of days before or after, mate, it was just like fucking, it absolutely stunk.
Yeah, I've actually done, even when back home, I never really told people I'd done that. People, anyone do tell, doesn't half believe you.
Yeah.
10.5 months I lived there. It was me, Eric, Dylan at that time, and Ali. It's like no windows, no TV. It was fucking tough going. 5 foot from the mat, but probably the best character building experience I have of my life. I don't
know how you slept for fucking 5 lunatics all in a very confined space.
No, the thought of that, like sleeping, was I would actually, I don't even know how I would have done that, to be honest. But just I'm really happy I did.
How was Ali to live with?
Do you know what I used to do? In fact, he asked me to come over, like, and then I would spar, train, do whatever I would do, because again, he was in the back. We would finish the session. This was every day for 9, 10 months. Every single day, we'd finish session, shower, come back into the back, and then I would sit at the end of his bed, and he would basically tell me what I'm shit at for about 25 minutes. I'm sitting there like, yep. It just what I'd done wrong in sparring, but that was good. Like, that's like a very, very experienced, very knowledgeable,
technical.
Yeah, man that's been about the scene. Sitting, then he would tell me, basically coach me after what I'd done wrong. So no, it was
What's
good.
What's his name on? Is it Ali McLean on Instagram? Is that his?
I'm not sure. He's a podcast now, isn't he? Yeah.
But for anyone watching, I'm going to plug Ali McLean, because I actually like a lot of the stuff. It's like he's found his niche now. And I think, you know, you can say some things which offend people, but
he does.
At the same time, I think we live in a world where people are very easily offended these days.
100%.
If you're not, then follow Ali McLean.
Great grappling coach, very knowledgeable, very experienced MMA fighter.
So, in terms of since you've been a Kaobon, then what would you say the difference, or is there any difference in the training from when you first went to the type of stuff what you're doing now?
First in Kaobon or before Kaobon?
Yeah, over the time you've been there, because I obviously drifted in and out the gym.
Aye.
And I think that the atmosphere, I can't say it fucking relaxes, it's far from it.
No, it's always like before and after is like different, if you know what I mean. Like before after the changes, everyone was like, but before it, you just know what's going. Like this was a camp for me, started yesterday. I've been training 2-3 times a day, but camp's different. And like this morning was just fucking. There was definitely a difference now for me from when I first came as being, again, talk about Colin, like I think it takes time to earn that trust and like show him.
He's got to get to know you, doesn't he?
Absolutely. And then so at the time, at the start, I'm kind of just like one of the lads in the map, which is I 100% understand. I understand. So I was doing the classes and it would have been Till and Tom at the time and Grundy, and these guys were in the UFC, so they'd have had it harder than I had it. And like before I came to Kaobon, I'd have told you no one trains like me. I was wrong. When I came to Kaobon, I realised that I was not training. I thought I was training hard, but I actually wasn't. I'd say now that I'm the guy in the UFC at the minute on the mat. The Tuesday and Thursday morning stuff, I have a lot more emphasis on my fights, and I get pushed a lot more. I'm shark tanked a lot more. So, just me personally, it's I've kind of went from being the guy in the mat to one of the more experienced, the only guy in the UFC at the minute. So it's a lot harder for me now. If you don't make sense.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But it needs to be in fight. I'm representing the gym at the UFC level, so it has to be. Look at you. I mean.
Did he still call Tuesday mornings Terror
Tuesdays? Rightfully so, lad. This is a Tuesday. I just came from one.
Yeah, I still can't get used to sometimes if I come in the gym and like you're training, there's music on. We weren't allowed music. I heard that. We trained to like silence. The only noise you could hear was people's fucking chins and gloves smacking each other in the face.
See,
that was
I'm sparring, so I love the tunes going, to be honest.
Yeah, I do, but we weren't allowed.
Fucking hell. It's good now with Gillies coming together in four corners. It's good, like
I think Colin and Gillies is a good balance.
Yeah, Gillies is hilarious.
Definitely a good balance, but good times, aren't they?
Oh, like I don't even know what I'll do what I'm doing, lad. That's the truth. I think maybe I always thought I wouldn't get into coaching, but I think I probably will. Probably just I love it, lad. I just love it. Love being on the gym. Love the energy of being around fighters and just seeing people push it. I watch. Actually, only recently, Colin's asked me to take. It's not even a class. It's the kids MMA sparring before I train for 20 minutes. I just love it. Love watching sparring. Yeah. We don't even do technique. It's just we literally I watch them spar, then I go around individually, tell them you need to do this, you need to do that. Do you know what I mean? It's only just started, but I love it.
The thing I like about Colin, he's always strategy to every move he makes. Everything he does.
The guy.
It's gonna end up being like the big Colin podcast, but
no,
he'll do that literally so the kids take inspiration from seeing where you are and who you are and how you conduct yourself.
As I wouldn't be like giving them fucking motivations, but just
being there.
Try to be. I commit myself to sport literally as much as I can. If there was anything I could do that I thought would improve, I would do it. So that's probably what I'd show to the kids that way. Like just live it.
The discipline it takes.
Discipline.
So outside of the gym, I think again you see with a lot of fighters, they be disciplined. They do everything the coach asks them to do when the coach is standing there watching them. Yeah. I think where most people fall over is the way they conduct themselves outside of fighting. So I'm not saying you've got to blow yourself up for like, then you know, but what you enjoy outside of fighting and what you know, what you do when you're outside of. I know after fight, pretty much you probably just go straight back to training again.
I
do you live the life?
I do. Honestly, I live like my life's quite boring, but I love it. It's not boring; it's just ultra repetitive. But I love it. I Ian after maybe do like a night out or a holiday or something like that there after the fights for like a couple of days to a week. But I like
you train when you go away.
I wasn't Dubai there. I wasn't training twice a day every day. Yeah. But no, I do a lot. If I didn't, I don't train Sundays. Sundays I'll do. I love just going for a long walk for the head.
Just active rest.
It's really that. But honestly, I don't do that much. It's quite repetitive, but it's the life that I dreamt of like 10 years ago, was to be in the UFC and to live that life. So
I was speaking to Rafi the other week, and I was saying to Rafi, it's like, you know, I know sometimes, especially when you've got fights coming up, it's hard, you couldn't wait.
Yeah.
And it's horrible if you can kind of take, because the things I used to love, like, it weren't so much the fight what I enjoyed the most. It was the lifestyle and living that life. Just
GSP says the same, doesn't he?
Living on the mats every day, studying fighting, which is something I loved and I'd do for nothing any chance I got.
Yeah.
Travelling. You know, it took me to fucking places and introduced me to people who I'd never met if it weren't for fighting. So as much as, you know, I don't regret anything. I know I could have gone a lot further in fighting, but on the whole, I've got nothing but good memories and things to be thankful for. So, but I do say to the likes of Rafi, even like yourself, like by the sound of it, you're already there anyway, but enjoy every single last bit of it, especially the simplicity of just being around good lads every day and being on the mats and feeling yourself improve and get better, which I know
100%. No, I am actually trying to take it and just like literally this thing TikTok pop up last night is like I dreamt of this. Like, genuinely, I'm really, really grateful. And I do have to half put, like, I'm not a multi-millionaire. I'm not a fucking rich man. I'm not only starting out here, but I genuinely am really, really grateful that I'm in the UFC, and my next 9 weeks is to prepare for UFC Manchester and to be about the lads in the gym. Like, I literally love it. I just came back from, Ralph was fighting in Dubai. I was fighting in New York. I'm genuinely grateful for the life I'm living at the minute. It's the life I dreamt of, and I'm
living the dream.
Trying to remind myself that like, even when I was talking about that fight and living in the back, it was it was to be here. So I do genuinely try to, like, every day remind myself, like, this is what we dreamt of. Like, so it's class. It's class. Like,
only just getting started though.
Only getting started, lad. Only getting started. 3 wins this year.
Yeah. So we go back to then your first fight in the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
Want to talk us through that a little bit? Obviously, it was a last minute opponent change.
It was.
And I think the guy who you fought, not a big name, but anyone who knows fighting or studies fighting will appreciate he's very high level.
He is. No, it was
and an awkward opponent as well.
That's just the shit. Just awkward. He was originally meant to fight a kid. I signed with the UFC like the tattoo on my neck, the 19th of July. That was only like 5 weeks before the fight. Only 5.5 weeks. Relatively short camp for what I like. I like 9 to 10 dialed in. Just have my piece. Just have everything sorted for 9-10 weeks.
You do a lot of specific stuff for your opponent. You study your opponent yourself.
Oh, like every day, all the time. I have a wee burner account on Instagram, follow him, and everything, all his gym, everything, lad.
You stalk the life out of them.
I'm on it, lad. I'm on it. Then like the drills we're doing for Colin, let's say that's what's changed as well in the mat for me. It's kind of like a lot more stuff for my opponent stuff, which is ideal.
Does Colin tell you the drills, what he's doing specifically for because it was different when I was fighting? He'd give you the drills without telling you what they were for specifically. So if you do pads with Colin before a fight, you wouldn't say this will work or that will work. You just work the drills into your pads, so subconsciously, you're already practicing the techniques which he thinks will work in the fight without you looking for them. But maybe that was more so for me because
everyone's fighter A, fighter B, everyone's different. Well, to be honest, me and him and John sat down, and today I got the fight, watched him in the cafe, highlighted a few shots, few things he does really well, some things he's mistakes, and then we've got guys in the gym that are moving like the guy I'm fighting, and we're going to try and source guys from outside. I like that. Maybe by Colin knows I like that. And then training for him up here when I'm on my own, that's like a gift I have. I think it's like, by the time I walk the cage, it's like I've done this 700 million times. It's like so clear. That's actually
That's something I've used since I left fighting. I weren't aware of anything like that, visualization, stuff like that. I didn't even know what it was until probably a year or two after I came away from fighting. I've used it in every part of my life now. To this day, but I didn't know nothing about it when I was fighting. Like McGregor is probably one of the first people who starts to openly speak about it. In terms of like visualization and manifestation and
it's gospel. Like I can literally put myself Bruce Buffer, boom, but I can just do it like that. And then after the Paris defeat, I was able to like say anything, drill in the door choke, hitting pads. I can put myself in that UFC. It's like a great training tool, I think.
Of course, yeah.
It's like because then by the time it comes around, it's like
You've done it so many times.
It's a fucking Tuesday morning. It's fucking easy. But the loss the guy changed on the. I had a count for the guy, and it changed on the Monday night or the Tuesday morning. I'm not sure. The guy rung and says he couldn't make weight. Fucking disaster.
Did they pull him off the card?
No, they put him up to a 45 fight, and then there was another bantamweight fight fell through, and then we were trying to get a catch weight originally, and then they put. I knew as soon as there was a bantamweight fight fell through that it made sense to me and Lapis to go together. Didn't know Taylor Lapis, should have, not good enough for my behalf because I kind of know everyone. Didn't know him, but turned out he'd been in the UFC like 7-8 years prior. Had went 3-1, had some contractual dispute, went away, won all the European titles. That's why I don't know how I didn't know the guy. Veteran. And got it on the Tuesday morning. My flight had been cancelled on the same day. There was a traffic backlog, so I had to stay an extra day in the UK. I was like, is there some sort of sign going on here? I was with my woman. I was like, what the fuck's going on? And then she started flipping out, and I was like, it's all good, I'll get him. Delusional. I should have been more, but I was like, fuck it, I'll do it. Whatever happens. And then got to Paris. That was it. Got agreed to fight Lapis. Came out and, in my opinion, was probably a victim of inexperience to where he had the experience. I'm usually very good and very calm. I'm very good decision making. But coming through Cage Wars, as I said, it's easy. There's a saying that goes, the path of least resistance is a terrible teacher. And I can tell you firsthand that's fucking true, because Cage Wars is supposedly this fucking litmus test, the best in Europe, but it was easy. But everyone I beat everyone the first round and finished everyone the second round. That's literally how it went. So it's easy to make the correct decisions and be composed and do everything right when it's always going your way. But whenever it's in the balance, you've got this hoopla of 20,000 French people going nuts around you, and he's calm, and my desperation shining through it. I'm not making the right decisions. My judgment's clouded. I'm fucking not good. Not good. But things like that, like in that moment, where from a veteran like that in front of you, no matter how good of a coach you have, like Colin, there's things that I think a fighter has to see up here in his head. You have to live it. You have to experience. It has to literally happen to you. But for me, and I can speak for me, for it to half register, and that was like 10 years MMA training in 15 minutes. Honestly, I half like the kid.
In the long run, it's definitely
it is good.
It's going to benefit you a lot, isn't it?
1,000,000%. Like, I don't want to slip into a lose mentality and like I'm okay to lose. Thankfully, MMA and boxing aren't the same. Like, only I'm coming here in Manchester, Leon, someone I look up to. He's the main event. Literally lost his debut, won 2 fights, lost again. It's not good to lose, of course, but it's not to be all and end all. So took a lot from it. Half grateful for it, to be honest with you. The lessons learned. It's fighting's a crazy game.
You could say prepared you, doesn't it, for where you are now, and obviously for
1,000,000%.
where you're going.
Yeah.
And it's better happen on your debut, I suppose, than learn them less than 3-4 fights in. So the crowd then.
The French, they're mental, aren't they?
What was the reason why you decided to fucking give them a load of shit and make them all hate you?
I don't know, lad. I just
the national news and everything.
I didn't know this until after that the guy I was fighting is actually, like, you know, Bisping and Nick Pete would do BT. He's their presenter, and I kept repeating me all week saying French MMA is shite. I didn't know this till after. So
do you think French MMA is shite?
For the most part, it is shite. Okay. They've got a couple of really good strikers, but it's a couple of guys.
A couple of years behind those, aren't they?
Aye, of course it is. But then again, I drew a short straw on a fucking veteran, and I didn't perform well.
But I think it's more the experience and the decisions and everything, aren't they?
Like, fighting's so circumstantial. Like, even if 2 men fight each other 3 times, 4 times, like every night on the night, a count went one way, a count went the other way. Like, it's so
small margin.
It's so and like, you couldn't explain this to a casual fan, but it is like, it's so, every fight is different. But it was just it was a bit of crack, and then I'd seen was getting some like traction on Twitter, so I was like, fuck it, I'll keep going with it. I don't care if they boo me, they cheer me. I'm still gonna. In my head, it's not gonna affect me. So it was great crack. And
there's a boss. I always, when I hear anything like that, if boss 50 Cent saying
what,
and he says basically, if you're not gonna love me, then at least hate me.
True.
So I think you've done the job.
Done the
job done that night.
But then some of them now actually message me like supportive, some French people. So I don't know, maybe the half changed.
Fucking crazy.
But no, to be honest, the lad who beat me, like, I learned a lot from him. He was a cool kid. The moment didn't affect him. And usually when I'm talking to people and stuff, I can see them like getting half annoyed or like wound up. It was just bouncing off him. He was a cool kid, so I can't.
It can have the opposite effect on some people. Can you try and rile them up, and they know what you're doing, so it actually helps them stay calm. Yeah,
he'd been there, so it was actually fair play him.
Lesson learned, innit?
Aye. Bastards.
Second fight then, different story.
I think
the real Caolan showed up on the second fight.
It was I didn't care, but I actually got very good at zoning out. It's like an external. That's like, it doesn't matter. I think in the cage, it's me and Pacheco. Performance, just want to fucking win. So I kept it all down low and got.
He's no pushover either, though, is he? Again,
no, he's tough.
You know you're fighting. He's a tough guy too.
Our fight was fucking nearly 2 months ago now. My right foot from booting his shin bone and booting his knee is still can't throw it. Don't know what I've done it, but tough kid. It's good at surviving. But no, it was good to be winning at that level. Anytime you're hand out 10-8s at UFC levels is good. And then I think I've still got the most significant head strikes of anyone in the UFC this year in one fight. So that's a pretty good record. Just relief more than anything. We've got the win. Fuck, move on type thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you took a different approach to that one, didn't you? In terms of like marking yourself in media wise.
Yeah. Pros and cons to both, isn't there?
So how much of what you put out there then for the media and stuff like that has obviously been marketing yourself is a big part of the sport now. It's a massive part of the sport, same in boxing.
It is.
But I think more so in MMA we're a bit more, say, further along again than with boxing. But how much of what you put out there is actually you, and how much is it for the cameras?
Honestly, I just try to be myself. I can't try to react off energies. Like the kid Pacheco, I had no beef with him. There was no back. I just went. I didn't really care then. But like with that, just was going the way I was going.
Did you not approach that fight differently because you got egg on your face on the first one?
Oh, no.
Is that?
Fuck no, I didn't. No, honestly, I don't. I generally don't ever try to be fake ever. It's just people can see right through it. I think. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah,
I just try to be myself, lad. And if you like me. Don't you? Don't. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. I think you're cool, mate. We kind of gone backwards on this podcast. We started like the end. All good. So we'll reverse right away to the beginning then. So obviously getting into MMA.
Yeah.
Spoke about the people who inspired you. So how old was you when you first? Did you box before?
I didn't fight in boxing, but I trained boxing quite a bit. I played a sport called Gaelic football. You don't know if you've ever heard it now.
Yeah, I've seen it, yeah.
So that's like where I'm from, that's like the be all and end all. That's like people's lives. Like they work their job in the weekend.
Still now?
Oh, I was only home at the weekend there. It's fucking went to so it's like this again is cool about the team environment in Kaobon. So it's very rural Ireland, right? So everybody knows everybody. Like it's the Catholic side play Gaelic football. There's 650 Catholic families in my parish. So you play for the parish. Everybody knows everybody. You play for the parish you're born. You don't choose your team, and you don't move team. You play for where you're born, which is cool. So it's like a sense of like your community. It's class. Everyone's like, it's hard to explain to someone like outside unless like the whole community is basically based around the GA team. And then, so if I want to go to America, like a young lad wants to get a J1 over the summer, he'll go to the GA club, they'll get him a job. It's like very, very community in Ireland. So that's what I played, like every lad. And then when the season ended in the winter, I went to the boxing club just to do something. Done this for a fucking couple of years. That was my first introduction to...
At what level were you playing the Gaelic football?
So I to be honest, my brother was a lot better. I wasn't very good when I was a kid. Kind of drifted away from it, and then right before I packed it in for the fighting, I was starting to hit my stride, but I was too hot. I kept getting red carded, like, because I'd been training. I kept starting fights, but I wasn't like I'm a much better fighter.
It's funny, because I obviously played football when I was younger.
Did you?
I spent more time getting sent off.
Yeah,
and then I found fighting was like farmy thing.
Yeah,
this is me. This is what I should have been doing all along. Dabbled with some boxing, obviously, but again didn't compete. But knew once I'd found fighting, that was like. Yeah. That was me love, do you know what I mean? Yeah,
it's like a different competition. It's like so primal.
Gaelic football for where you are, just like football where we are in
Literally. But I was playing that and I was really enjoying it from a club in school and that, and then started getting a couple of tore my ACL twice actually. And what time must have been 16 now when I was coming back, and
that's a big injury that for 16 years.
Yeah. Done it, and then about 6 months later done the other knee. Both playing Gaelic football, very unbelievable. And when I was doing the rehab, I just went down to the MMA gym. There's one that opened up in the town I was from, Cookstown. So I was like, fuck it, I was sick of doing fucking pistol squats and all this rehab at 16. I was so bored in a gym and we were feeling strong. I was like, I'm just going to give it a go, something to do. And this is so stupid. Like literally that night I left, I'm going to be in the UFC, I'm going to do this, I'm going to be a world champ. This is after one session, one return is like, I'm never going back to football. Literally after one session, I'm never going back to football. I've found it. I'm going to be good at this. And it was like a drug. Like it's the first time you get shown a jiu-jitsu technique, and you just I want to know immediately what is the counter to this, how to improve on this, and then
I can relate to that. So
yeah,
much, you know?
and honestly, it's never really wavered. I still I actually say I'm more addicted to it than I was fucking 10, 15 years ago, but that's how I get it. Injury, just give it a go and then never look back.
Yeah, I think I'd done 1 or 2 sessions with Colin, Muay Thai. I'd only ever boxed, I'd done...
Did you come straight to Kaobon your first time, gym?
So I was trained in Adderton.
Oh, did you?
So I met a lad called Paul Caolan. You probably don't... Do you know Paul?
Not sure.
Fucking absolutely bonkers, yeah.
Heard all the stories.
One of the best fucking...
I've heard
done a lot for me without probably... He probably does realise, in all honesty, but he introduced me to MMA.
Did he, aye?
So some stuff happened.
OG.
I ended up getting introduced to Paul through a mutual friend. And he took a bit of a shine to me and gave me a couple of one-to-one lessons in Adderton. When it was closed, yeah. And then I basically went to fucking Brazil with Paul, but I had a trip planned, so jumped on the plane, flew over to Brazil after training for a week.
No way.
Nothing, knew absolutely nothing.
Oh my God.
And spent nearly 3 months over there.
Did you?
No, sorry, I went for a week with Paul. He introduced me to a few people like Brig and people who I still speak to now, Cremado, the coaches.
Astra, so you went?
So this, like Paul had a trip planned to go over there, maybe like a week or 2 after I'd met him.
Aye.
So he said, you want to come over? So me and my mate jumped on a plane and flew over with him. So spent a week in Rio. And I came home, and it's literally just the same, mate. I just knew that's me thing and I fell in love with it. So came home for a week. Obviously, he put me in touch with a couple of people over there who I'd met.
Aye.
Said, I'm coming back over. So I went over, they found somewhere for me to stay, and I was there, sleeping in a little... Not as bad as probably different to... Like no aircon, fucking absolutely like, ridiculously hot, but not as smelly as the Kaobon dormitories were. But I lived there for nearly 3 months. And spent 3 months just getting me fucking ass handed to me every single day. But loved every single minute.
I'd love to go to Brazil to train for a bit, hey? That's deadly. Then you came back and found Kaobon?
Came back. I think I might have done in the week or 2 before I'd gone over there. I'd like, honest to God, it haven't happened so quick. I met Colin, done a little bit of kicking, flew over to Brazil, spent nearly 3 months over there, came home, joined Adderton Submission, where Paul had took me up and given me a couple of one-to-ones.
Very good.
And then I was training, doing me striking with Colin, a bit of MMA with Jason Tan and Paul Rimmer at the time because they were together.
Yeah.
But most of my training was actually done in Adderton. And then I end up just going with Colin, and I think Jason and Paul might have been coaching me for the first fight, along with, I had about 10 coaches with Darren Morris, who's an amazing fella, one of the best coaches I've ever trained with. But Darren, he was coaching me. I was with Colin, Jason, and Paul. I'd probably had like all of them. Right. Paul Caolan. I had a cornerman on my first fight, but I had a professional fight after 6 weeks of coming home from Brazil.
Did you?
And that's as I was saying, like I'd done a crash course in like the
still in the deep end.
Yeah, but it's still, for the time I'd been in Brazil, for what I learned in that time, it was literally a crash course. It probably would have took me 12 months to get to the level where I was at after 2.5 to 3, because I loved it.
Yeah.
And I didn't miss a session. I spent 5-6 hours a day in the gym.
That's like
for nearly 3 months. So compared to people in the UK back then, I came home a decent level. I went there with fucking a baldy head, 17 stone fucking, and normal ears, and came home. Missus didn't know who I was. I came home with full head of hair, fucking cauliflower ears. I'd lost about 2 stone. And 6 weeks later, fucking mega, like, absolutely amazing experience.
Invaluable.
But it's come a long way since then. Obviously, seeing the likes of yourself, and you know, even like the last couple of years, it's a completely different fucking.
Oh no, it's
game
like,
now.
Well, like even back home in Ireland where I'm at, the participation levels probably wouldn't be anywhere near like Liverpool, not even close. But like the fandom and like the support and people the young lads who watch the UFC, like it's like the football, like they're it's what everyone, the young lads in schools are talking about. Like it's huge, and here in Liverpool, like. It's quite eye-opening for me, to be honest, the level of like the kids and how many.
I was with a guy the other day called Ian Munsberg, who's fucking travelled. You see him like, you know, people from Liverpool, a lot of people in Liverpool know him, but you see him in GSP's gym, he's got connection with the UFC, trains all over the world. And the other day he was speaking, he was saying how like, basically Liverpool is going to take over.
The level is unreal. And
the level compared to like, we always speak about for such a small city, like, you know, I've always been a fighter in a football city. But I think we're going to notice in the next 10-15 years.
Even if you go like a Muay Thai show, like the kids Muay Thai, they're fucking
they love it, don't they?
Skilled. I don't know people do Muay Thai. I talk about my foot fight 6 weeks after a fight. Honestly don't know how you sort it, how you leave it. But I know honestly it was quite eye opening to me. The people in the gym I hadn't even heard of. Like I had been like kind of winning regionally in the UK and winning belts and stuff, and I was seeing guys in them I hadn't heard of. Really, really, really skillful, really, really high level. That's the coaching, isn't it?
Of course, yeah, and the team.
The team.
What about growing up then? What was it like growing up? Obviously from a wee boy.
You know, like, where I grew up was like, well, paradise for me, like, well, like very different from Liverpool. Like, games home at the weekends, like rural for Ireland. Like, it's like a place called Beckmore, Tyrone, Ireland, Kildress, Parish Kildress. It's up a mountain. It's like forests either side of my house. My dad's a farm. I grew up on a farm, so basically that Gaelic football, school, and then my dad making me do farming for him at the weekends, which again is good. We got it's like you're outside, it's healthy. Farmer strength is a thing, but I'm telling you, that's the thing. Me and my brother just naturally have that from doing this from your fucking 5 years of age. And
what did you have you doing? What type of stuff would you do on the farm?
Clean out the cattle houses when I used to remember. I sound like a real munchie here. Clean out the cattle houses, so like where the calves would live, be like their hay. But it'd be like a wee pen, half the size of this sofa. But I wanted to get away and go to train, so I'd try to get done as quick as I could. So I'd try to lift it in one. So it was like literally a farmer's walk. I'd be like fucking 4'3" walking like this, trying to get it done. But it's like a walking deadlift.
That's why you're so short.
That's why I'm so strong. I'm actually convinced of it. I was doing literally a farmer's walk when I was a cub.
You're built for that, aren't you? You're designed to fucking lift heavy objects.
Well, I don't know if I was for the farm then, but no, it's good. You also get a sense of like hard work. If I wanted to fucking lift the training, or I wanted, like, I don't know, like if I wanted anything, you had to do this first, which is good. I'm actually very thankful. That's a good thing to teach a kid. You know what I mean? So now I was where I grew up. Like, it's very, very different. Liverpool, like, it would have been a troubled time at a time, not when I grew up. But like compared to Liverpool, you see now like crime and that was very eye opening to me. Like the lives of like young lads living here, that's not the thing where I'm from. Just being honest, it's not the thing. So that was very eye opening. So I had a good childhood, lad. Definitely not like
not easy.
I was a bad enough kid in school. Didn't really care about school or teachers and stuff. But I had I did a lot of work. And then it was like 14, 15, 16. I was working like 3 jobs just to fund myself. You know what I mean? I am now, but probably because of what I was in my childhood. Just like, you have to work for what you have. And I've kind of kept that going in my adult life now, you know what I mean? Say that, like, it's not a different life to what a kid would grow up in Liverpool here. Again, crime, street stuff, God, that's not a thing where I'm from. But hard work was, and that I had to do that, you know what I mean?
It's quite refreshing as well today, because a lot of, obviously, people who, you know, like a podcast and things like that, they speak about how hard they had it when they go. Some people think you've got to kind of, to get to the top, you've got to have that background, go through them adversities and different things, but I don't believe, I believe it's either in you or...
100%, aye. No, but I had good parents. My dad retired young because he'd done very well for himself and stuff, but I definitely wasn't spoilt. Like, I was the opposite of that. Like, you had to work for what I had, but not a good childhood, lad. It's a cool place to grow up in. Again, we play that gay football stuff, a lot of friends and stuff, but I'm happy, I'm proud of where I came from, lad. Made me the man I am today, I think.
What's it like when you go back there now?
The airport was mad the other day. Like, it's different. There's a lot of people in the UFC. Like, it's different here because I come to Liverpool. Like, nobody half knows. Even the odd MMA fan, but then I go literally get off a plane and it's like completely different. But it's cool now, lad. Everybody kind of knows everybody anyway.
I know it's still early days, but do you think that's something that you'll be comfortable with further down the line?
100%, lad.
Not mind the attention and...
Nah, it was like seeing in France.
Yeah, like, prepared yourself.
No, lad, I don't. I have my goals in this sport that I'm working for every single morning, every single night. Whether money and fame stuff comes in between that, I think that it's just, if it does, it does. It doesn't. Like, I've got my goals going to be on that for until they happen, really.
And I think if they weren't obviously such big financial rewards, MMA, it's something you probably still do.
Oh, I genuinely love it, lad. I genuinely love it, hey. Love it. Love the grind. Just love every day waking up. Even when I'm in training camp and it's like, now's okay because I'm only starting, but like in say 5 weeks time where I'm sore, tired, hungry, getting battered, still like lads, it's something that I know I'll miss when I'm an older man. So,
yeah, again, it's something obviously because I'm 10, 11 years away from it now. I try and stress that to the lads who see.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can be in there like to Derby Lane, see lads can't wait on the treadmill.
Yeah.
And the fume, and they look pissed off. Some of them look like they're going to start crying sometimes. Hey, mate, listen, enjoy it, because once it's gone, it's like school.
That's what John Gills keeps saying to me, you're living the dream. Me couldn't wait. He's like, living the dream. I'm like, I know.
Fucking abs. Like 8 abs. Do you know what I mean? You look back one day and I've like fucking one.
A keg.
That's it, and you'll be like, I remember I had fucking an 8-pack.
Yeah.
But it really is the life. Definitely.
It's hard, but it's good. Like, it's obviously not easy. Like,
How's Tieran getting on then?
Flying, lad, Flying. I just say I was literally home at the weekend there.
He's had a couple of good wins lately, hasn't he?
He's just had his pro debut there over in Amsterdam. So now he's going well. He's I actually think he was half missing Liverpool saying the other day, but he's going well over in Belfast, to be honest.
Yeah.
And he's gonna be fighting for that Amsterdam crowd for the next year, I think. Anyway, so
has he signed a contract with them?
Well, I think it's ideal, to be honest, because they say they're gonna keep him active. You get living the dream, the novelty of flying away to Amsterdam to do this. So now he's happy, lad,
He's a high level for considering he's only had.
Yeah. That was when his pro debut, like.
Yeah, I think that's
he actually
nuts, that.
was the exact same. He fucking was playing guilty football. He's a lot better footballer than I, wasn't he? But injury,
problems with his knees.
And then he went into fucking fighting. This is mad. More dangerous game football than the fighting, I think.
Yeah. So like your day to day, then routine and stuff like that. Obviously, you're in the gym morning and evenings, most evenings. Well, it's every evening, Monday to Friday, isn't it? Saturday mornings you train.
So I do 3 Monday through Thursday, 2 Friday, 1 Saturday, and then rest Sunday. But it's like morning and night is the class. Then the third will be something I'll do myself. We bit of S&C or run, just something like a wee bit of knee prehab. But 3 times a day, Monday through the Thursday, 2 on the Friday, 1 the Saturday, and then rest the Sunday. I like structure. I like routine. I don't like the.
Yeah, very much the same.
Yeah,
myself.
I have to. Like, because I went over. Colin actually told me, went over to America and in the whole of January I was there training with Cejudo's gym for 4 weeks, and it was deadly. But when I'm in camp, I like to I know in 5 weeks from now what we're gonna be sparring. I know what day I'm doing my magnesium salt baths, what day I'm doing my fucking hyperbaric chamber, what day I'm doing my jiu-jitsu drilling, when I'm doing my S&C, where I know, like, I literally know everything. It's all, and I like that, because then by the time I'm walking the cage, it's like I've done everything. Yeah. So I think routine's key.
I took that into my life since fighting, because
100%.
Like, people laugh, but I've lived a lot of my life off whiteboards.
Yeah.
Like, I have a big whiteboard in a room, and it basically has my whole week mapped out. And
very
I'm
good.
big on taking things obviously out of your mind and putting them onto paper or something so you can
physically see it.
Just to helps create a lot of clarity and stuff like that. So I understand even the importance of like just knowing what you're doing on what days. And
I
think that's where I find it, like, at some point you're going to start fighting. Maybe that's something that could possibly help you at some point, because I had 2-3 years, mate, where I was fucking going to the gym training like a professional fighter, but trying to earn money outside, and like not earning no money, but because you're spending 6 hours a day in the fucking gym, like you've got a fight coming up, but you haven't. I'm just stuck in that pattern of like that routine. If that was like all on you,
100%. I'd say there's probably a lot of things you take from fighting that you could take into business. Probably is just
everything. Honestly,
commitment and the discipline. And
you only get out of anything what you're willing to put into it. And but at the same time, I had that attitude to fighting. Like Colin would tell you that I'd done the same as you. If there's anything I could do it anyway, even like to the point where I'd overtrain and undereat because I was so much of a perfectionist. But I've learned a lot from the mistakes, basically, which I'd made in MMA, and kind of applied them to work and family and everything else. Do you know what I mean? I know that's what a lot of like the lessons I probably learned off Colin and stuff like that helped me since coming away. But routines fucking massive for anyone 100%. Struggling, literally.
Yeah.
You know, don't you?
Yeah.
You're struggling mentally, you're not too sure what you're doing at what times and what days. It's like start to plan.
1,000,000%. I actually think because I don't have any. I never have any problems with the mental health ever, but I think that's because I actually live a life without even thinking about it that like literally counteracts it. I've got a goal, a massive goal, UFC champion. That's a huge goal, and I've got like routine every single day. There's aiming towards that goal, so I can't even. I'm so into what I'm into. There's like nothing else can really creep in. So I think that's what people like any mental health thing. I can't speak for any experience, just being honest. But I think like a goal, something to work towards, and then a routine of like ticking off wee goals to get to that big goal. I think that's like vital. I don't know. That's what I think anyway.
Yeah, well, I again, like obviously when I speak to people first going into MMA, a lot of people get frustrated at the start and jiu-jitsu and things like that.
Except that's just how it's
happening. For me, that was when I used to get the most from it, because I feel like if it was the worst person in a gym of 30 fighters or 30, people who grapple or whatever, you basically had 30 people to measure your progress off every week.
$1,000,000,000.
And like it's like the first day or the first week you go in, it's like everyone's tapping you fucking 10 times, 15 times, doing what they want. But after a couple of months, you're surviving with people. And then after a couple of weeks, you tap that person who's tapped you fucking 100 times and you get them the first time.
Yeah.
And you drive home and like it's like you just scored a fucking hat-trick in Anfield. Like up there, do you know what I mean?
No, 100%. That's how you get good. Just fucking put yourself in them positions. I'll give me back in the gym all the time. I'll let people half on me neck and then try to, like, I do that all the time.
Putting yourself in bad positions. But how much does that apply to like life?
Exactly. 100%.
Like, don't be scared to put yourself in these bad positions, because sometimes it's the only way we learn, isn't it? The only way we level up.
1,000,000%.
But for me, fighting was life or death. That's the kind of.
Do you think you overthought the winning thing?
Overthought, over-prepared. Just like it meant so much to me.
Yeah.
I didn't know mentally how to handle that.
Yes.
So it was like losing a fight. There was never, I'm not doing this to become the best fighter ever. It was about that next fight, and the thought of losing was like, it scared the fucking life out of me.
More than the enjoyment of winning.
Yeah, so there was. I couldn't really go into a fight enjoying it, because I was so focused on fighting perfect and not losing. To be like the best fighters, you'll know yourself, get into flow, and they feel a state of freedom and
1,000,000%.
even like peace in there, because it's like you're fully in the moment and you're not thinking about the fans or losing, or the best fighters are actually.
Yeah, it's Prime McGregor was the man at that. Like he was the man at that.
I speak about Darren so much. When Darren was at us, I've probably said this loads of times, people would be sick of it.
He looked like he was enjoying himself.
But he was different. I used to watch him spar, even when I'd spar with him early on. And there'd just been no one there. It was just like he wouldn't be looking anywhere, and he just always be that step ahead with his striking. At the time, he was quite fortunate because he couldn't wrestle nowhere near like to the level he obviously could now. Every spar I had with him, as soon as I seen that look on his face, it'd just be take down straight away. Do you know what I mean? But when he was at his very best, that was like.
He was one of my favourite fighters.
He'd play with people for 15 minutes, quite well. He could have them out of it in 3 minutes because he just loved being in the fight, you know what I mean?
Nah, he was class. That's it. But top boys.
Does that resonate with you in saying
does,
when you're in the fight, are you thinking about anything else, or do you just
not at all? But that's the time. The loss I do have is like I definitely wasn't flowing. I was not. I was like reacting instead of just letting it go. But I'm not saying that won't happen again. Hopefully it doesn't. But I think I learned a lot of lessons from it. Anyway, I genuinely enjoy. I really do enjoy competing. I love the moment, like the like before the last. Oh,
do you feel pressure?
Nah, I don't. Like, it's like again, like people just think I'm blind. Like it's like, who's gonna slag me? Like some fucking dweeb with a hidden account on his Instagram. Like I genuinely don't care about that. But no, that moment like before where the kid came backstage before and he goes, "All right, Caolan, time to make that walk." Like I just don't think there's anything in life like he could even replicate that. Like
it's big adrenaline rush.
It's just deadly.
Some people are built for it, aren't they?
Yeah, it's just deadly. It's like I don't even know if it's nerves or butterflies, just that wee feeling you get. It's like I love it, lad. I genuinely would say I'm addicted to it. That's the truth.
Yeah. No, what, mate? This the gospel truth. The first time I seen you at the gym and spoke to you, I thought there's something about him. He's going to do something. And you just kind of not like again. There's a couple of people who've been now doing really, really well, and it was a similar feeling. Speak about Jack Turner, we mentioned him before.
Oh, aye, sick.
Don't know what it was walking the gym first time. It seemed like that fucking kid's a world champion.
Very good.
I mean, I think there's no difference with you now, the trajectory what you're on.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
At the minute, mate. Massive respect for the work what you put in and everything what you do. You deserve to be exactly where you are. So, couple of questions I always ask, 2 little questions early.
Right.
So, what is the definition of success? What does success mean to you? The first thing that comes to your mind?
Well, this the UFC belt, lad. It has to be. It has to be the UFC belt. Like it has to be. Now, like Again, what does my life, does it depend on me getting that? Will I be a happy man for the rest of my life? Probably not, to be honest. I wouldn't say it, but I've literally one goal in fighting, is the UFC belt, that's it. Literally it.
What makes you happy?
Jesus, what makes you happy? Wow.
Rush.
I am happy at the minute. Like I would say just that, lad. The chasing the dream, waking up every single day, and getting after it. Like having that massive goal that people would laugh at you. The same way they were laughing at me 10 years ago for saying I'd even make it to the UFC. For now saying that I could be the champion of this weight class, like that makes me happy, lad. The very thought of even just being fit to do that, or even just attempt that, and to be fit to like call this my job and my life, I'm happy, lad, to be honest, doing that.
Okay, so for part 2 then we're going to see you sitting there with a belt strapped around your waist.
Let's go 3-0 this year, and that puts me probably close to the top 15 anyway, so yeah. Absolutely, lad, 100%.
You've definitely got the talk, haven't you, mate, to get you where you need to be. Hopefully fast tracked a little bit sooner than...
Oh no, it's a marathon, not a sprint, isn't it?
Yeah, no, there's no rush, mate, it'll happen when it happens, but
zip.
We're ticking all the boxes, aren't we?
Trying my best.
Yeah. Okay, brother, I think that's us, mate. But it's been an absolute pleasure having you on. It's been lovely to watch your journey so far, but I'll say it again, mate, I think it's only the start.
100%, lad. 100%.
Sound, brother. Thank you.
Job done. Thank you.
Nice one, mate. Today's episode is sponsored by Frequency Fitness, the UK's fastest growing premium activewear brand, and IC Insurance Liverpool, the leading insurance broker in the Northwest, offering competitive rates for all types of commercial, business, fleet, property and public liability insurance.